Okay, let's begin with some breaking news that's coming in. Delhi's Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia has been spotted living it up in Finland. This even as Delhi is battling dengue and chikungunya and hospitals back home are overflowing. India Today has accessed first pictures of Sisodia from Helsinki. Remember, it is the taxpayers' money which, of course, is funding for the visit. Now, an education conference jaunt that has been paid for by your taxes. Okay, so even as Delhi, of course, continues to face one of its worst public health scare situation with the death toll rising for both chikungunya and dengue, the Deputy Chief Minister who is there in Helsinki, his pictures have emerged where he clearly seems to be not very concerned about developments back home. Kumar Kunal is now joining us on the phone line, my colleague. Kumar, what is the reason that Manish Sisodia is in Finland at the moment? Is this a visit, a trip that is being paid for by government money?
Yeah, the trip is on public money, and he has gone to Finland for a conference, which our sources have been telling that it is a conference on education for the betterment of primary education. The conference it's a 9-day conference, and he is there. But the main thing is he is there, and at the time when Delhi is suffering from such a big outbreak of chikungunya and dengue, the timing is most important. And when Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal is not in Delhi, he is out of Delhi. He is in Bangalore for his treatment. His surgery has been done. Then definitely the focus comes on Deputy Chief Minister, and he is also not here. And these pictures. So
right.
This is in a way rubbing salt on the injury which Delhi wala have been suffering for last few days. Chikungunya and dengue outbreak is there. So this is definitely serious, and people are not definitely taking it in a good spirit right now.
Okay, but was there an option that Manish Sisodia could not have gone himself and could have sent somebody else as a representative, knowing very well that what was happening in Delhi has been actually gaining in a lot of criticism for the government?
Yeah, several officials are also there in this trip with Manish Sisodia. What we are knowing, and even the pictures are revealing it, that Secretary Education Punya Salila Srivastava, she is also there with him. Mr. Sisodia's secretary, C. Arvind, he is also can be seen in the picture. So lots of officials are there, so they can go for this trip if even it was so important. At a time when Delhi is reeling under such a situation, and when a leadership is required in Delhi, and when Arvind Kejriwal is in to be here
okay.
and personally look.
Kumar, just stay with us. We also have, in fact, BJP's RP Singh with us. How do you look at this? Was this important, do you think, for Manish Sisodia to have really gone for this conference, or he should have sent somebody else?
It reminds me of an English phrase which says, when Rome was burning, Nehru was playing his fiddle. But they are not here to serve people. They have come for their personal enjoyment and personal achievements. I mean, they are not here to serve people. Tell me one thing. I mean, couldn't have Mr. Kejriwal postponed his operation? Was it so important that he was a matter of life and death for any chief minister, or it was important that people dying in Delhi should have served Delhi first and taken charge and ensured that everything is taken care in Delhi? He left to the minister who was busy in Goa. So for them, Delhi is no more a concern. For them, is personal objectives and political objectives, which are more overriding than Delhi is today.
But Mr. RP Singh, maybe if I were to turn devil's advocate, the party would say, look, our Health Minister Satyendra Jain is here. He even went and had a meeting with the Central Health Minister JP Nadda. So, it's not like the Deputy CM himself personally could have gone and done something what the doctors are incapable of doing.
Then why do you have a cabinet of ministers? They say that we don't have powers, and why do you have such a big cabinet? I mean, you don't need a cabinet today. They call meeting for every small thing. They call sessions, assembly session for smallest thing. And today Delhi is suffering. They are not available. And also, when did Mr. Satyendra Jain came? Only after the media channels like you raised up the issue that man is missing in Delhi. He was busy campaigning in Goa. He didn't cut a strip short. He spent complete 3 days in Goa. But they could have done the preparedness in advance. But they were warning to them 4 months back in June that there is a chances of epidemic happening here. They never bothered. And the biggest concern, I mean, had they acted even now, I'll appreciate, go to their mohalla clinic. What is the condition of people at the mohalla clinic today? There are 100 mohalla clinics, there are lines, queues, people for checkup, but there are no medicines, there's no test available. Oh, why can't they simply, give me a minute, man, why can't they simply announce saying that anyone who is suffering from chikungunya or dengue will be treated free of cost, this check will be free of cost in any government or private hospital, and government will bear the expense of that. It will not come more than 20 crore rupees.
Mr. R.P. Singh, the leader of the BJP, also joined in fact by the Congress's Ajay Makan. Mr. Makan, if you're there with us, how are you looking at this? If you've just heard what Mr. R.P. Singh had to say, would you call it a fair criticism of the Delhi government?
Well, it's a height of insensitivity on part of Manish Sisodia and Arvind Kejriwal. Both of them, they are missing in action, and Delhi is facing one of its worst historical epidemic, one of its worst crises that Delhi has ever faced. And that if Chief Minister is being operated upon, the Deputy Chief Minister at least should have been in Delhi. And instead, he's on a junket at taxpayers' money. So why can't they come back to Delhi? And there is so much to do in Delhi. There are, R.P. Singh was mentioning about 100 mohalla clinics. Besides 100 mohalla clinics, there are 1,389 dispensaries all across Delhi. There are 95 hospitals, 975 polyclinics all across Delhi. So why can't they place doctors for 24 hours, paramedic staff, and all these places, none of these places, there are enough doctors, enough medicines, paramedic staff, and that is why people are thronging to the hospitals, where again they are not getting enough beds and doctors or enough care in these hospitals also. So Delhi badly needs them. Now again the fogging is to be done. So where is the Delhi government? Even before the onset of monsoon, before 15 June, all these drains have to be cleaned up, all these drains have to be desilted. PWD has 1,004 roads, and out of 1,004 roads, only 311 roads were desilted. So if 70% of the roads are not desilted, the drains of 70% of the roads are not cleaned, because of which there was waterlogging. So who else is to be blamed for this present epidemic in Delhi?
But we've also heard several statements, of course, from other leaders as well. While the AAP says that chikungunya is not fatal, this is what the medical opinion is, that, in the cases where deaths have happened, it's also triggered by other factors, not just chikungunya. There have also been voices that say that civic apathy is to be blamed for this. So how do you really look, are the political parties, are the leadership actually on the same page when it comes to dealing with this crisis?
Well, first of all, I think the health minister is misleading the people of Delhi when he says that chikungunya can't cause any death. I would ask him to go through the WHO, World Health Organization's report. This United Nations body, WHO, has said that last year, till April 2015, 191 people died because of chikungunya in North and South America. So if people can die of chikungunya in North and South America, now these 10 deaths have taken place in Delhi, they are still not able to reconcile to the situation, and still they are turning a blind eye towards this. So just turning a blind eye towards this, just blatantly saying no to the ground reality is not the solution.
Okay, Mr. What do you think that should be the response of the AAP government immediately, Mr. Makan?
Well, immediately they should talk to the central government. They should have a dialogue with the municipal corporation. Actually, they have worsened their ties to the extent that they are not in a position even to speak to the municipal corporation or to the central government. They should immediately get in touch with the central government and ask for paramilitary and military forces, doctors from the paramilitary and military forces, even staff from the military and paramilitary forces for fogging. It has to be done in a war-like situation. Delhi is undergoing the worst epidemic of its kind ever.
Okay, Mr. Ajay Makan as well as Mr. R.P. Singh of the BJP, appreciate your joining us on this broadcast. Meanwhile, our news editor Shiv Arun is also joining us from the newsroom. Shiv, if you could take us through Manish Sisodia's schedule in Helsinki. Is it very tight-packed? Is it really something that is very, very informative and could not have been missed out upon? Because a lot of these pictures look like it's a part of his private itinerary.
He's there for an education conference. So, in this day and age when pictures go viral, when the smallest gestures, can be used to attack you politically or otherwise, for Manish Sisodia to even be in Finland at this point of time is being perceived as improper. and displaying a lack of sensitivity. For these photographs to now come out, has provided, as you just saw from Mr. Maken and Mr. Singh, an enormous amount of, perhaps expected ammunition to the opposition against the Aam Aadmi Party, because they're already under fire for indulging in politics, playing a blame game, passing the buck, and now displaying, flagrant insensitivity. If you've got Manish Sisodia, who behaves like the custodian of all that is right, anti-corruption, propriety and things like that, a man like that, caught on camera eating ice cream, enjoying a nice little feast, enjoying the ocean view from an air traffic control tower or whatever that is, and seemingly enjoying himself in Finland when he should be in Delhi, running the show along with his boss, the chief minister. It's obviously going to rile up a lot of people. It's not just about the politics, it's also about imagery. You've covered politics, Smita, you know very well what perception and imagery really is all about. And in this very emotively charged atmosphere where you've got 27 people who've died in the national capital, 13 of those from chikungunya, 14 of those from dengue, for photographs like these to come out. Nobody here is saying that Manish Sisodia is indulging in anything wrong. It's about perception. It's about political perception, political imagery, people looking at those two images that we've got on our screen. One of patients suffering, dying, not being able to access hospital beds, being thrown away from hospitals, the door shut in their face, fathers carrying their sons, people dying all around, facilities not available. And on the other hand, the number 2 man in the Delhi administration on, what appears to be a jaunt in Finland is something that's not going to go down very well
I'm also joined by, in fact, the senior face of the BJP in Delhi State, Mr. Satish Upadhyay. Your reactions, please, sir, to the images that have now surfaced.
No, I haven't seen these images, but we need to confirm that these images are true. This is number 1. And number 2, he is not number 2, he is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. All in one is Manish Sisodia, because Kejriwal ji is not at all here. He said he will, that Manish Sisodia is look after everything. And if this is true, then seeing the situation in Delhi, he should have cut short his visit.
So, but, if the government were to say that, look, this conference was planned well in advance and he had to be there, would there be an argument that you would buy?
No, definitely. I mean, some pictures are very personal. I don't want to comment on this, but seeing the situation, and you are responsible for Delhiite, you should have cut short his visit.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Appreciate you joining us, Mr. Satish Upadhyay, with your comments, and Shivarur as well from the newsroom. We will try and get in some up voices to react to this, but remember, of course, the Aam Aadmi Party spokespersons also now have to get, in fact, permission from their national spokesperson for any of them can come on to the channel. So we are hoping that the AAP does come out with an argument that is convincing as to why couldn't Manish Sisodia cut short his trip to Helsinki if he had so much of time to spend there. It's time for a quick break now, but we'll be back soon with lots more. Stay with us. Welcome back. Before the break, in fact, we showed you those pictures of Delhi's Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, who has been spotted literally living it up in Finland, and this even as Delhi continues to battle dengue and chikungunya, and hospitals back home are overflowing. The death toll has gone up to 13 in the case of chikungunya and 14 in the case of dengue. India Today has accessed first pictures of Sisodia from Helsinki. Remember, it is the taxpayers' money that he is seen splurging for an education conference, of course, that he is attending officially. Let's cut across live to the newsroom, from where, in fact, Managing Editor Rahul Kanwal is now joining us. Rahul, clearly, as far as this criticism is concerned, the Delhi government really does not seem to be concerned. And coming from Manish Sisodia, somebody who's been a journalist in the past, he should very well know that what these images can actually, the kind of message these images can send out.
Smita, we've just been speaking to the public relations officer in the Deputy Chief Minister's office, and what we found out is this, that Manish Sisodia has gone to Finland to assess the education system there. So it's not a particular conference that he's gone for. It's an overall tour to understand how the education system in Finland works. And the reason that they've gone to Finland is because Finland apparently has one of the best education systems. But there are several questions, Smita, that come to mind. First and foremost, if you just look at the number of people in Finland, compare that with the challenges in India, there is no comparison. Even if you have to go, would it not be better to go to a less developed, populous nation which faces similar problems? And they've now been there for more than a week now. Look at some of those images. In the meanwhile, I want to go across to our research desk where Ashok Upadhyay has pulled out the right to recall part of the AAP manifesto. This is on the Aam Aadmi Party website. Remember, the BJP now is starting this campaign on right to recall. It says, today we give our vote to a candidate, he or she wins the election, and then they disappear from our life. Today, most elected representatives make no time to listen to the problems of their constituents. And in the current electoral system, people have no choice but to suffer their candidate for 5 years. We want to create an alternative, they say. We will enact a right to recall law wherein the common man does not have to wait for 5 years to remove a corrupt MLA or MP from office. People can complain to the election commission. So this is something that people are talking about. They've been missing in action. 1 week for Finland. Is that really worth it, Smita?
Rahul, just stay with us, because I am told that we are also joined by Yogendra Yadav, of course, somebody who was a part of the Aam Aadmi Party in the past, but since separated ways. Mr. Yogendra Yadav, what are your reactions really? Is this a tour that was absolutely mandatory for Mr. Manish Sisodia to have undertaken in the current circumstances in the national capital?
See, first of all, I should say that I have not seen the images you're talking about. I'm not in a place where I can watch television, so I've just heard descriptions of the images. I have not seen the images myself. And the second thing is that, images are images. You can pick a few photographs and make a whole story out of it. So I would hesitate to read too much into it. The core question remains very simple, which is that at a moment when the city is reeling under an undeclared epidemic, should the key public representatives not be here attending to that epidemic rather than doing anything else? Going to Finland may be useful, may not be useful, we don't know, and on the basis of a few pictures I won't be able to conclude whether it was a useful visit or not. But the simple protocol of public governance is this, that when your electorate are facing an emergency, then you give up everything, come back and attend to it. And what we have witnessed in Delhi for the last few days is anything but that. We may have images for one of them, but the simple fact is that the LG has been away for a substantial part of time. The BJP-led MCD has been utterly irresponsible in the way it has attended. And Aam Aadmi Party leaders, most of them are absent when Delhi needs them most. So that, to my mind, is more important than a few images of this kind of Finland or some other country. Incidentally, the whole idea of visiting countries to learn basics about those, it used to happen 50 years ago when you did not know that there was no internet.
The point that's being made by Aam Aadmi Party leaders is, what can we do? On the back of the High Court order, we're left with no powers. Arvind Kejriwal tweeted to say, I can't even buy a pen on my own. Is that a fair explanation? Because ultimately, they're the ones who've been elected to office. Yet at this time of public crisis, they're saying, what are we supposed to do? We don't have the powers. The problem has to be resolved by the LG. Is that a fair position for AAP to take, sir?
It is not fair. But if it were fair, then they should resign. They should resign straight away rather than play these games in public. If Aam Aadmi Party truly believes that they cannot do a thing in Delhi at a moment of its extreme medical emergency, then it's only fair for them to tender resignation. I don't think that's actually the case. I think they do have limited things. What they don't have is the unlimited kind of play which they wrongly imagined they would have in Delhi. And it seems to me that after the High Court verdict, Aam Aadmi Party leadership has made up its mind. They have made up their mind that there isn't any juice in Delhi anymore. So focus on other things.
No, but you're also a top election analyst. What do you think is going through their mind? Because you've been given a mandate, an overwhelming mandate in Delhi, yet you believe that you want to focus on Gujarat, on Goa, on Punjab. Is this electorally suicidal, or is this actually smart strategy that we can't do anything in Delhi? People can't throw us out because we are here for the next 3 years. Therefore, let's try and capture new ground. Do you believe this is prudent electoral strategy, or do you believe this could prove electorally suicidal, Professor Yadav?
It's not fair for me to comment on their political strategy because I would be seen to be biased. The only thing I can say is that, those days when the world did not realize what you were doing in the city, back home where you were governing, those days don't exist. There is celebration, there is information, and if you are utterly irresponsible to your core electorate, well, others will find out sooner than later. But to my mind, the real question is still about the core role that the Delhi government still has, notwithstanding the obstructions they have faced, and it should be said fairly that the Lieutenant Governor has been obstructive. It should be said that the Delhi police has been very unfair. But having said all that, it is not the case that in this medical emergency they cannot do a thing. When they wanted to, yesterday the minister ordered the cancellation of leave of all the medical staff. He could do so. Clearly, he can do many things. And this is surely not the moment for them to bicker over such petty things. This is the moment when in any country in the world, all parties come together. All levels.
I think the points that you're making are very, very important. And the headline point there from what Yogendra Yadav says is if AAP believes they can't govern, they can't administer the capital, they must resign. Thank you so much, Professor Yogendra Yadav, for joining us live on the story. We hope to have you back for more later. I want to go across to Colonel Devendra Shehrawat. He's now joining us. He is, for all practical purposes, still an AAP MLA, even though he seems to have rebelled. Colonel Shehrawat, your thoughts on these images being aired by India today? Manish Sisodia seeming to live it up in Finland, where he's gone on an education tour at a time when Delhi is in the grip of a dengue and chikungunya outbreak.
Well, this has actually shown a very poor image of the party, which had professed to be, different from all others, not seeking any personal sort of, extravagant facilities. But what seems to have emerged in this period is that they've left everyone else behind. And within last 1 year, each one of them have been competing to go and travel abroad and to exotic locations. And they have also committed all this in an illegal manner. The invitations have been obtained from friends. They're not official invite from London School of Economics. These are from some student, forum or something like that. And a one-day trip has been converted into a 9-day personal holiday. And DAs have been claimed for that period. So there is a lot of management.
And very unfortunate because if this is being turned into a private tour, there is a big problem there. Colonel Shehrawat, thank you very much for joining us. This is a story we'll keep tracking very closely. For the time being, we take you back to our studios where Smita is there.
Thank you, Rahul Kaval there, of course, getting us all the very latest and all the political reactions to this story. Clearly, this will create further infrared to the much controversies that already the Aam Aadmi Party finds itself in.